Don't bang it too hard. You don't want to stop the CD. Thanks. Yeah.
I love it.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. Yes, it's February. It's unbelievable. The weather's mild out again. We had a little snow the other day. That's New England. Back and forth we go. All right, but I got another great show tonight. A gentleman here that worked for CBS Radio in Boston. We're going to talk to him about what he did. But before we do that and all the cool things he's accomplished, got these great underwriters got to read off, and then we will take it to the interview portion of our show. So here we go. We got Auto Country, King of the Used Car in Abington. Congratulations, Dealer of the Year. Winning Dealer Raiders Independent Dealer of the Year out of 4,500 in Massachusetts, in Abington, as I said, Auto Country. We got D&E Auto Body Collision Center in Bridgewater, 35 years in service and business. We got Middleborough Barbering Company in Middleborough. We got Vape Solutions in East Bridgewater. We got UBG Airsoft and Laser Tag in Bridgewater. We got Grant's Rental in Bridgewater. We got P&L Paintball in Bridgewater. We got Chanel Performance Auto and Truck in Bridgewater. We got Lynch's Auto Cycle Truck and Towing in Brockton. One number for projects, one number for towing. We got Sweezy Fence Erectors in Whitman. We got Comfort Upholstery in East Bridgewater. We got Smoke and Ashes Tobacco Shops in Whitman, Pembroke, South Weymouth, Hanson, Abington. We got Abington and Whitman News Corporate Office. There's the phone number. We got A1's Tire and Auto Center in Brockton. We got John's Greenhouses and Florist Shop in Brockton. We got Joe's Diner in Taunton. We got Doggy Boutique, all breed grooming for dogs and cats. It's run by my great next door neighbor Debbie Siddell in Brockton. We got Easton Fitness right here in the Village Shops in Northeastern. We got MDI Auto Brokers and Repair, only fully certified used car in Whitman, and we got T Martini and Sun Floor Covering in Abington. No job is too big or too small. Top Time fans get 10% off, and we got Speedy Oil Change in Abington. And I want to thank you guys very much. And on that note, now I will introduce Mr. Mike Lancelotte. He is a former worker with the FM stations in Boston. But first, Mike, I want to thank you for coming in and being on Topic Time with me today.
Harrison, thanks for having me. That's a lot of sponsors.
Well, they're underwriters.
You got a lot of fans out there, you know?
Well, people like what I do. I'm good at what I do.
Excellent.
Okay. So tell me about yourself, though. You're a guy that's worked in radio, and you worked behind the scenes, but you wanted to be on the air as well.
That was the initial goal
Okay.
when I started at CBS Radio. I actually started with Mix 104.1.
Okay. How long ago was this? What year?
This was probably like good 8 or 9 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a good time ago.
Well, the radio stations are always changing their names and their formats.
Oh, always.
Mix 104.1 has been around a while, but I don't think they call it that anymore. It's still there, but it's called something else. I listen to it in the morning sometimes when I exercise. All right, well, now what I like to do with every guest is to go back to when they were really young, as like children, and find out what they were like as kids and how it got them to where they're at.
Okay.
So as a kid, now where did you grow up? You lived in Woburn?
I moved around a bunch. My dad was in construction, so we went where
Don't worry about that.
we went where the work was.
I understand.
So-
Okay. And so where did you? Okay. Well, but in terms of like your dreams for the future, what made you decide to go on the radio? I assume you wanted to do it as a young kid, or was there something else you wanted instead?
I've always loved entertainment. I've always loved
Okay.
being on stage, whether
Okay.
it's hosting karaoke or trivia
Okay.
or talent shows growing up. I even did a performance or two at the Wank Theater.
Oh, tell me about that. What was that about?
Well, that was actually, I was involved with an art group called Express Yourself as a young child.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's a volunteer thing. It was a lot of fun.
Yep.
I got to meet Keith Lockhart the first year. That
Oh, wow.
was absolutely incredible.
Yep.
We learned how to tap jazz tap together, so
Okay.
that was pretty incredible.
All right.
And I've always had an eye for the spotlight. It's always been my thing. Unfortunately.
And yet, this is your first TV show. You've never been on TV before, right?
No, I haven't. As you start to grow up, you realize that you got to pay the bills.
Well, I know that, but what I'm saying is, I'm trying to correlate the show with your next pinnacle of life.
Yeah,
this is your first TV appearance, and hopefully from this will spawn other cool things for you.
I am actually looking into other opportunities post-COVID.
Yeah, of course.
I've met a few people in the industry that have taken a liking to me and will hopefully give me an opportunity once everything's all said and done.
Okay.
And my passion really is sports talk radio and sports broadcasting.
Well, all right. Well, along those lines, how active were you in sports as a kid? And in terms of not only of playing it, but of maybe talking about it with your friends. I assume that you did a lot of that as a kid. You look athletic. Did you play sports at all?
Well, maybe not so much right now, but yes, I did. I grew up by playing all kinds of sports.
Football?
Yeah, I played football.
Look at a linebacker.
Yeah, thank you.
Sure.
I wasn't too bad.
Well, did you play like at the scholastic level at your high school?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I played tight end. I played defensive end.
Cool.
So that was a lot of fun. That was
Sure. Didn't get injured much?
Fair amount of hits to the head.
But you seem like you got it on straight right now.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
All right,
yeah.
that's good. That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
important thing. I mean, you know what they say about football players, and especially, a lot of things are really, a lot of studies have shown that, injuries at young age can really take their toll in the later life on these people.
They can.
But in your case, it doesn't seem to be. You look as healthy as ever.
A couple aches and things
Oh,
there.
yeah, we all have those,
I'm 36, so you know.
I'm almost twice your age, and I still. I'm 61. I feel great.
Good for you.
And I work out every day.
That's awesome.
It is, yeah. I mean, and I'm a vegan as well.
Oh, really?
Yes, vegetarian. I've been a vegetarian. You're 36, so let me see. That means that you weren't. I became a vegetarian before you were born.
Wow.
July 30th, 1982.
I could not handle that, Harrison.
Yes, you could.
No, I couldn't live in a world without bacon and steak.
Well, what I'm telling you is, if you had the fake bacon and the fake steak without anyone telling you what it was, you would say it was the best tasting bacon and steak you ever had.
I actually had a Beyond Burger, and I didn't even know it. It was pretty good.
It is. They are. And
Yeah.
and the thing is too is there are so many different brands. What you need to do I recommend it to anybody. Not only,
Yeah.
First of all, you just got a new dog, and I know you wanted to bring him here today.
Yeah.
And I love animals too. I called the station earlier to find out, but nobody was here, so I didn't want to just say bring him along until and then have them find out that you weren't supposed to bring dogs into the building. So
Yeah, I wouldn't want to leave them out in the car.
right,
you know?
exactly. You don't want to leave. But so. My point is that, you love the animals, I love animals, that's why I don't like eating them. You don't really need to eat animals to live. If you did, I'd be long gone because I've been a vegetarian more than half my life.
Yeah.
Like I said, since I was in my 20s, 23.
And that's a fair point. I just wonder, though, with a lot of these vegetarian and vegan recipes,
Yep.
I mean, I guess maybe not just the point of, obviously you don't want to eat animals, right?
Right.
But also you don't want to put a lot of harmful chemicals and hormones into your body.
That's right.
But what are they putting in tofurkey to make it taste like turkey?
It's plant-based. Plant-based is not chemicals.
But how do you get that flavor, though? That synthetic flavor?
No, it really isn't. It comes out of the plant. The plants can be the nutrients in plants can be created in such a way, or they can be rearranged in such a way. Yes, there is some processing that does go on, but it's not adding chemicals. It's just taking the natural chemicals in the plant itself and enhancing them. They just have a way of doing it.
Well, it's got to be healthier than my bacon and eggs. So.
Yeah, of course it is. I eat fake
But
meat.
I'm just saying.
I posted a picture of the inside of my refrigerator today on Facebook. I don't know. Did you see it? I don't know if you caught it, but there's like 1,400 packs of fake meats, Thai dumplings, smoothies that I drink every day. And I jokingly wrote on the caption, "I can raid this anytime I want," with a laughing emoji.
Yeah.
Which is true, and I love that. I mean, I have a big breakfast every day after I work out. And till I'm full. I eat till I'm full. I don't, I used to be heavy when I was a kid too.
Yeah.
When I was over 200 pounds at 14.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm about 140 now. I'm like 60 pounds less than I was in high school. So,
Jeez.
I always blamed it on a slow metabolism, but it isn't just that. It's what you eat and how you process the food in your body when you work out or if you do. And I do every day. You just got to get into a rhythm in a structure and a plan that you can follow, and I have.
Well, we see a lot of great examples of that, especially with pro athletes these days.
Look at Tom Brady.
I was just going to say
bring it
that.
up, of course.
Oh my goodness.
Well, he's a plant guy only. He's vegan, and he still looks like he did it when he started his first Super Bowl in 2002. 19 years ago today, by the way. 19 years ago yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely an interesting lifestyle that he's chosen to pursue. But, I mean, can you argue that it's not working for him?
No, that's my point. It is working.
It's absolutely incredible. I mean, this man goes to 10 Super Bowls. I mean, this is something that you're just never going to see it again.
Probably not, no.
And I love Patrick Mahomes, and maybe one day I'll eat my words on that. But, seeing the potential passing of the torch coming up this Sunday is just one of the most incredible stories. You take a guy who's been undervalued and underappreciated his entire football career, right? His entire football life.
You're talking about Mahomes?
Brady.
He has. Okay. Well, not anymore.
Well, not anymore. But people are still doubting him. I mean, look at the Patriots. They wouldn't give him that 2-year deal to get to the age of 45. They were like, buddy, go find your money somewhere else. And, you know, they're really eating that right now, aren't they?
But guys like Brady have been known to come back.
Absolutely.
They feather the nest a little more next time. Put it this way: if he wins the Super Bowl, which I think in Vegas they got him at least a 5-point favorite the last time I checked.
That's great.
It is. If he wins it, then I think, Kraft might rethink his strategy a little bit.
I think Belichick could be looking at a very short career if he is not able to formulate some sort of plan going forward next year.
That might be true. But look, we don't want to talk about sports too much. We don't want to, it's great. It's a great topic.
I know, I get hot about it.
I get hot about it too. We can incorporate it into discussion, but I want to find out about you specifically too.
Your show, sir.
Okay, it is. But you're the guest, and you're the one I want to profile. So tell me about you. You said you worked for a lot of the different radio stations. So what capacity did you work for them? Doing what?
So I started out just in street teams and promotions, and that's pretty much where I ended up about a year later.
Okay.
The reason being, they had a contest at one of the stations where they were going to employ a fan to be an on-air personality, part-time reading headlines.
All right.
And I saw that as my opportunity to strike. So in order to participate in the contest, I had to resign my position.
As what?
Street team promotions, but I couldn't, working for the CBS, I couldn't.
Conflict of interest?
Yes.
Okay.
I couldn't apply for a CBS position.
All right.
It would be kind of like cheating.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Well, so I quit my job.
Yep.
And I auditioned.
Yep.
And I did not make it. And I auditioned 2 years in a row after that, and I did not make it.
Well, I got a question for you. Couldn't you audition before you quit your job, so that if you didn't get it, you could still have the job? I mean, does that make sense? I'm just wondering.
The way it was explained to me is I couldn't be an employee of CBS at the same time as auditioning for.
You couldn't even audition for it as an employee.
Because they were looking to employ a fan, somebody
who was
not affiliated.
Right, I understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
because once you quit, you couldn't get the job back, right?
It's tough to get the job back.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, it would just seem to me, I'm just trying to wonder what your priorities were. Obviously, everybody wants a chance to a lot of the fans want to be in this deal. But at the same time, you wanted a good job too, and you wanted an opportunity. I mean, didn't it cut from within the opportunities that you would have had if you didn't quit?
Yeah. I think about that a lot because honestly, that was the most fun I've ever had in any job in my life.
Yeah,
I mean, we got to meet rock stars.
Yeah, no kidding.
I would sneak into concerts. You know, you just go up to security people and be like, "Hey, I work for the radio station. You know I'm supposed to be here, right?"
Okay.
Like, well, you're not on the list. I'm like, you better check your list or call your boss.
Yeah.
I need to get in there right now.
Okay.
And but we got to do so many cool events. I would grab the microphone when we get to events and start entertaining the crowd. So then they realized that instead of people having to pay a DJ to come out and pay them $2,500, $3,000 a set, they just send me with my big mouth and a microphone and the group of people, and we just have a good time, man. Chop it up with everyone.
So so do they pay you to do that?
Nothing extra. No, it was just me being a ham.
Well, sounds to me like, you got so much potential, but I think what happened is you just didn't think through your priorities straight enough, because now you had a really good job and with all these opportunities, and you kind of flipped it away. I'm not saying, but you could do it again.
Yeah, it was a naive choice on my part.
All right. Well, let me ask you this. So that having been said, what are you doing currently in terms of entertainment? Is there anything going on right now?
Well, there's not really much that can go on. Anything that would be
virus, right?
Yeah,
all right.
Exactly.
All right. Well, let me ask you this. What were you doing before the virus?
I was hosting trivia, hosting karaoke.
Where? Different clubs and stuff?
Yep.
In Boston?
Yeah, I was working for On Tap Trivia, and I was also working for Ann Lanfear's karaoke.
Okay. Now are these companies that bring you into clubs to? I mean, because I sort of auditioned for something years ago, like in 2014. And we were going to different clubs, and they were supposed to create these smoke screens and do all kinds of special effects. Is that the kind of thing that you're doing, or we're doing before the virus?
Oh, no, it was simply I was provided some questions for trivia, and I would go in there with my equipment set up.
Okay.
And, the restaurant, the bar, whatever was giving whatever away.
Yeah.
At the end of the night, the winners would get that prize. So it was a ton of fun. It was really laid back. It was an opportunity to hang out with a bunch of cool people.
Right.
And just do what I like to do.
Okay, well, now even with the virus, people are still, at a limited capacity, people are still gathering in clubs. Now, what about you, though?
Everything's closed in Mass. So,
really?
I've been up to New Hampshire over the summer. They did have things open for a while up there.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden they started shutting that stuff down too. So.
Okay. All right. So right now you're not really involved in any of that at this point.
Not right now. No.
Okay. Well, what about all right, now people are getting vaccinated. I'm feeling very good right now. My parents in their 80s just had their first inoculation. They'll be getting the second one on the 19th of February, which is 2 weeks from tomorrow. So what are you going to do? I mean, do you have anything at the ready when we all get vaccinated or when everybody's good to go?
As of right now, no, I don't have anything lined up.
Okay.
Like I said, I did meet somebody in the industry who may present me with an opportunity to intern following the whole COVID nightmare.
I understand,
Once they can start taking people back in.
By the industry, you mean in the FM radio industry?
Actually, over at Nesson.
Oh, Nesson, okay.
So-
Well, Kim does some stuff at Nesson. Maybe you could talk to her, but I can't help you with that.
That's pretty incredible.
It is, yeah. She has a little gig over there.
We'll see if the offer still stands.
Okay, that's cool. That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, now what about the possibility? Now are you knowledgeable about video technology? Have you ever done any video editing or even audio editing?
The last time I did any video editing was back in high school. I took TV production.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm getting at is, I mean, you don't have a YouTube page, right?
No.
Okay. Because what I'm thinking for you, if you're a very charismatic person, but what you probably need to do is present yourself in such a way that lots of people will see you. And YouTube is a great way to go. Topic Time's on YouTube. I expect we'll get a lot of views for the show.
Oh, that would be great.
It will. I know it will because we do. I get tons of views for the show.
Awesome.
I just had seven guests so far in 2021. I already have 100. I had two musicians on here about 2 weeks ago. We already got 1,000.
That's pretty incredible.
Oh, it is. Yeah. So what I'm saying is you look like the type of guy that that you have an interesting charismatic style about you that I think that would get people's attention. So what I'm wondering is, have you ever done any blogging? You ever done like a sports blog? That might be kind of cool.
I haven't.
Well, see, that's something you might want to try.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm just saying, you got a lot of potential there. You just need to tap it.
I appreciate that.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is what it's all about.
I've been quite busy since the whole COVID thing came about.
Well, what have you been busy doing, if you don't mind my asking?
I saw a real opportunity to work in the gig industry.
Okay.
And I was doing all kinds of things. I was doing like Uber, Lyft, Instacart, Grubhub, DoorDash. Get the opportunity to work for yourself. In doing that, allowed me the opportunity to do some other things.
Okay.
I've been learning how to play the piano, which has been a passion of mine for a long time. I really wanted to get good at it.
Okay.
I've also learned a lot about the stock market.
Okay.
And pretty much been surviving off of that.
Okay, I understand. Well, are you a day trader?
No, not as of right now.
Okay.
But I just started getting into options.
Okay.
So not a big gambler, so I really wanted to know what I was doing.
Oh, you
before.
you have to know what you're doing. Well, I had a guest on last year, young guy, not at this location, at my Carver location in early 2020, a guy named Vladimir Vronsky. You might want to talk to him on Facebook. He did a seminar on. I mean, he was born in 1996.
Yep.
The guy's like a stock genius. His office is right in Stoughton. It's in the next town over at Cabot Place. And one day I did a seminar just before the virus hit on a Sunday last year. It was my parents' it was their 63rd wedding anniversary, January 26th of 2020. And we sat there and he showed us how to watch the market, watch the graphs going up and down, and play them at like almost like catching a wave every few minutes or every few hours.
It's fascinating.
It is fascinating.
Really is.
I didn't do it because I'd always worried about losing, but it might be something. If you want to do stocks, he's the guy that might be able to hook you up. He's very intelligent.
That's awesome. And there's a lot of people that I follow on YouTube as well, and it's just absolutely incredibly brilliant people.
Okay, that's true.
So, and I've been learning a lot. And
do you keep in contact with the people that employed you with CBS at all?
No.
What does your resume look like?
I mean, you know how the industry is. The stuff like that changes overnight.
It does change overnight.
There's very few people.
I've never been employed by by a major network, so I have to ask a little bit more to understand it. So what I'm wondering is, do you have a good looking resume from what you've done? It sounds like you should have a great resume based on what you've done if you work for all these radio stations.
Yes, no, I have a pretty impressive resume.
Okay, that's important.
So
I mean, that's why. I mean, that might make the difference between you getting that job and not getting it. When the COVID thing ends. But outside of the gigs, I guess you'll get them anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that stuff's easy.
And how far and wide have you traveled to do them? I mean, just all up around New England, Massachusetts, New Hampshire.
Just very locally for that stuff. Yeah.
Okay, I understand.
I wouldn't be opposed to traveling around.
No, I know that. Yeah, because you might want to start your own TV show in your own town. You could do that.
When I was a little kid, that's what I really wanted to do. I wanted to be a game show host.
I'm talking about that, maybe talking about your own, doing a sports gig.
Oh yeah, I'd love that too.
Right, do like a sports talk show. That's how I got started in 2009. I was a co-host. This guy, I was working at a radio station in Marshfield on WATD, and this guy named Bill Wilhelm had a Sunday afternoon sports talk show, and I was helping him out. Most of that was for high school athletes, the kids, and that played sports in the South Shore. They'd come and they'd love to be on his show. We'd interview them, and they were all excited. So one day I was helping out with this guy named Joe O'Neill, who was a friend of his, and Joe said, "Boy," to me, he says, "Boy, you sure know your sports. I host a TV sports talk show around the corner at the cable station. How'd you like to be my co-host?" And I said, "Sure." But the day I was supposed to start, he called in and said, "Host the show yourself. I can't make it in." And I said, "How am I going to do that?" He goes, "You can handle it." And I did pretty well.
That's awesome.
It was. But then, so here's what happened. So then the summer went by, and we kind of drifted apart. I left. But for the next year, I debated in my mind. I said, I handled that pretty well. Maybe I could start my own show. So finally, on Wednesday, August 18th, 2010, and the Easton website has the first show that I ever did for Topic Time in Marshfield. I got on the air and started my own show after a year of weighing the pros and cons of doing it, and just did it by myself, no guests the first time. But he called in because he didn't know he was on the air. We had a telephone system at the old station in Marshfield that reached both the office and the control room. I was doing the show from the control room. He called in to talk to the boss, and he got me on the air. He had no idea. They go, "You're not going to believe you're on the air with me. I just started my own TV show." So we had a great, because back then we were going live, and I was trying to get people to call in, and he was my first caller. So, and he didn't even know he was on the air, and it was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
It is, yeah. But I'm saying for you might be able to start something like that too.
I was thinking the podcast route. It seems
That's
to
what
be,
I'm thinking.
it seems to be a big thing now.
Great
so
for you.
Yeah.
And do you have friends that do you have people that you talk about sports with now regularly that you're friends with? Because I'm thinking you might want to team up with some of these. You might want to talk about putting together a sport.
The problem is everybody trying to find time with their families and their careers, to ask them, "Hey, I need you to devote, give me 10 hours a week so we can do one episode."
All right, here's what you do.
Of show prep and planning, and
All right, here's what you do. Try doing it for on a short-term basis, just to see how it feels. Talk to a few people. Get online and see, talk to them. See if you can get a rap going on, it only lasts maybe 20 minutes, but if it sounds good, it'll be something that people might want to pick up.
Yeah.
But that's what you got to do.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the hardest part is trying to pick a name that hasn't been taken yet.
A name? You mean for a show?
For a podcast, yeah, one that people are going to remember,
Well, well, that's, you can think of that. Well, that's the first thing you do. You sit around with your friends and you think of a name.
No, I was joking, but yeah, no, I understand what you're saying.
I'd call it Bloomin' Hole. Covers everything. Golf, covers basketball. You got a hole for basketball. You got a hole for a glove in baseball. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got a net for in hockey. I guess the holes when the puck goes in the net, it's sort of a hole. So I'm saying Bloomin' Hole.
My marketing guy right here.
Right here. Well, I always try to give.
That's
advice.
Awesome.
Thank you. I always try to give advice to my guests that can help them out down the line.
I really appreciate that a lot.
In fact, I had a pretty famous athlete on as a guest. Vinny Paz, the 5-time world champion boxer.
No kidding.
He was on. Yeah, I had him on in Bridgewater. I had him when I had the show on there 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it was 2017. It was September 28th, 2017, and that show's also on the Easton website. I also interviewed the guy that's the Patriots biographer, Bob Hilberg. He just wrote he has got so much press lately in the Boston media. He was on WBZ radio like about a month ago, and he wrote a new book about. He's compiled every stat for the Patriots going back to when they began in 1960. Wow. He's a couple of years old. He's a year older than I am. He's 62. And he knows all the Patriots. He knows Brady. Well, he knows Brady's not the Patriots now, but he knows Gronk. I mean, he's interviewed all these people, and then I had him on, and his wife was there. We had a great show, so you could always check that show out and see what. I'm just saying these are people you might want to just look into talking to. You could talk sports for hours.
I could.
I mean, he could too. That's what I'm saying.
I could talk about anything for hours, really.
Well, that's good. I mean, I can see that. I mean, I'm telling you, man, you got a lot of potential. You got the GQ clothes there. You got the look. You sort of got the happy. You seem like you got. Are you married with children?
No, that's why I'm happy.
I can concur. I'm not saying it's not for everybody. I know. I've never been married either. But in a way, it's good for you too because it frees you up to do other things that could be more interesting than that wouldn't impede your progress because you'd have more time.
Yeah, I'm pretty blessed. I have an opportunity now to really explore the things that I want to pursue.
That's right.
Like I said, for a long time it was just business. and making money and staying ahead of the curve.
Right.
And now I finally, recently in the past year or so, I've taken the opportunity to start really exploring the things that I want to pursue.
Okay, so you basically, you are on an upswing right now.
Yes.
Even with the COVID going on.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
We got all this time on our hands. I mean, self-improvement's got to be the first.
Well, right. Now, speaking of, do you work out at all? You look quite strong. I mean.
Yeah, I have been. I'm down about 20 pounds, so
well, okay.
Go me.
Well, right. No, I mean, I'm just saying. Well, that's the point. If you want to, okay, yeah, we got 5 minutes to go. But I'm saying to you too. I mean, that's the other thing. If you keep working out, you keep your mind and your body at at peak efficiency and happiness, then that's the position you want to be from. So you're up here instead of down here. I just spoke that like a true public address.
That should be quoted somewhere. That needs to go up on a wall somewhere.
Well, it can be graffiti, or it can be the third testament.
You dabble in the art yourself?
What's that?
Graffiti?
What, say it again?
Do you dabble in graffiti yourself?
No, I have no art talent at all. I found that out back in the spring of 1970 when I was in the 5th grade and took art lessons over at the Fuller Museum in Brockton, which just opened a year earlier. And I found I had no talent at all. I was hoping to maybe make a living as an artist, but it never happened. I couldn't even draw the lumberjack on the TV guide.
Oh, yeah?
Which you kind of look like, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
without the axe and the tree. All right, well, so like I said, like Kim just pointed out, we're down to the final 5 minutes of the show. So what I want you to do is look in the camera, give shouts out to people that are going to see the show, because a lot of people are, and then we'll wrap the show up as we began it with my, snapping Bob.
All right, sounds good.
Go ahead.
Let's see, who am I going to shout out first?
Just condense them.
I did have a request earlier for Rue's Family Moving, so I'm going to shout him out.
Okay.
I'm going to shout out Shag Loft Salon in Boston. They take care of all my stuff here, try to keep me looking a little pretty. Love to give a shout out to my mom, Linda Lancelotte, my dad, Dominic, my sister, Christina. I know you guys are all going to watch this and probably give me a lot of crap for it. Make fun of me. I'd love to shout out the great people at CBS. They gave me an opportunity to explore something I really cared about and wanted to pursue. And I know it's been a long spell since I've worked there, but they still gave me the opportunity. So.
Are you friends with any of them on Facebook?
A few people, but it's a lot of turnover there. There's maybe a small fraction of people that still work there.
What I'm saying to you is, though, when the show was up, share it with as many people at CBS as you can. I keep saying CVS like the pharmacy, but I share it with them, and then they'll say, "Okay, you did a great job in that guy's show. We definitely need you here."
Oh, I also want to give a shout out. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. It's fine.
To the Northeast Animal Shelter.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, who just gave me a wonderful. Well, I adopted a wonderful dog.
We wanted to bring it today, but we weren't sure if it was okay. So
they're getting in a bunch more too this week. It's kind of sad. There's a lot of places where they come from where people are overbreeding these animals. They're basically using them to defend their property and kind of work their land. They don't really take care of them very well. So luckily, people get a hold of them and send them up here for some really good loving homes. But if you're going to adopt an animal, realize it's not a COVID cure. This is an animal that you're going to want to commit to for its entirety of its life.
Entire life, yes.
Yeah.
That's your new family member.
Nothing worse than people that treat animals like a.
I'm into that. You don't have to say the word. We know exactly what you mean. If you've seen my Facebook post, you see whenever I see something abhorrent happening to animals, I try to stop it, sign petitions, do whatever I can.
Yeah.
So
but even to treat an animal like an accessory that you
that's
just
right.
you get bored
it's
of.
Not a car. It's not a car which you can just trade away.
So
it's a family member.
Yeah.
If you're going to be like that, don't even adopt an animal, because you want to be somebody that's going to give it a loving home.
Yeah.
Like your own child. And that's right. You know that. You and I both know it.
That's how it goes.
All right. Well, just one more thing. If you had fun with me tonight, I want you to tell your friends about my show.
I'm gonna tell everyone.
And tell them that you got my digits. Have them text me. I'll get them on as guests.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Mike. You were amazing. Great guest.
This has been a blast. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Same here. And, tag me on Facebook. Do all the fun stuff. After we finish, we'll do it. Okay.
You got it, brother.
All right. Thanks, folks, for watching Top of Time. See you next time. Take care. Have a good one.
Love it.
There you go.
My man.
You got the idea.
This is so much fun.
Thanks. I like it too. It's the way it should be. It's all about the fun.